There are moments, rare moments, when the soul is summoned without warning. Not by sound, not by spectacle, but by an ancient stirring beneath the ribs, like forgotten iron awakening inside stone. You felt it before these words arrived. That pause in your spirit, that strange stillness pressing against your thoughts, was not an accident. The unseen does not move carelessly. Every encounter carries an echo. Every delay conceals instruction. And you, whether you fully understand it or not, have entered a threshold. Listen carefully. The world taught you to seek signs in noise, but truth has always preferred silence. The deepest revelations arrive like a mountain hermit descending through winter fog, unannounced, carrying no banner except presence. Something within you has grown tired of pretending, tired of shrinking your instincts, tired of negotiating with your own knowing, tired of standing at the gate of your destiny while fear speaks with the voice of reason. But your soul remembers. It remembers the primordial vow buried beneath your distractions, the vow to become unmoved by confusion and anchored in what is eternal. This is not merely a season of emotion. This is the beginning of recognition. And recognition changes everything.
You have carried invisible weight for longer than most could survive. Not physical weight, spiritual density. The kind that follows you into crowded rooms and still leaves you feeling alone. The kind that turns nights into endless corridors where the mind circles itself like a wounded wolf beneath a frozen moon. And still, you endured. But there were moments when the shadows became persuasive. Moments when exhaustion disguised itself as wisdom. When retreat appeared noble. When silence felt safer than becoming. You questioned your path because the mountain grew steep. You questioned your value because resistance would not loosen its grip. Yet hear this clearly. Darkness does not gather around emptiness. Storms circle what carries consequence. A mountain hermit does not climb toward comfort. He climbs because truth waits at elevations where weaker spirits cannot breathe. Every brutal wind, every sleepless night, every unanswered question was shaping your inner altitude. You mistook the pressure for punishment. It was preparation. The unseen realm has been testing the strength of your anchor, not to destroy you, but to reveal whether your spirit could hold firm when certainty disappeared. And despite your trembling, you are still standing. That alone speaks louder than fear ever could.
Now comes the turning. Not outwardly, inwardly. Because the greatest transformation does not begin when circumstances change. It begins the instant a soul refuses to abandon itself. Can you feel it? That subtle shift beneath your thoughts? Like ancient stone moving beneath the earth. For too long, you waited for permission, a sign, a voice descending from the heavens to declare your worth. But sovereignty is never handed to the hesitant. It awakens when a person finally looks into their own abyss and remains there without fleeing. This is your moment. The mountain hermit does not conquer the peak through force. He conquers it through stillness, through disciplined silence, through learning that clarity is born when panic loses authority over perception. And suddenly, what once terrified you no longer holds the same power. The rejection, the uncertainty, the waiting. You begin to see them differently now. Not as chains, but as chisels. You were not being buried beneath hardship.
Strength is not loud. The deepest authority rarely announces itself. It moves like a winter mountain, silent, immovable, ancient beyond memory.
This is the mastery you are being called into. Not domination over others, but command over the chaos within yourself. Because the undisciplined soul leaks power through reaction, through fear, through constant hunger for validation. But the awakened soul becomes an anchor, steady beneath pressure, clear beneath conflict, untouched by the panic consuming lesser minds. You must understand this now. The unseen watches how you carry adversity. Every moment you refuse bitterness, you ascend. Every moment you choose clarity over impulse, you reclaim territory within yourself. This is sacred labor. The mountain hermit survives because he learned to walk beside solitude without becoming consumed by it. He learned that silence is not emptiness, it is instruction. And in that instruction, he discovered something the restless world never will: inner sovereignty. So stand firm. Do not crawl backward towards smaller versions of yourself simply because they feel familiar. The old identity cannot accompany you where your spirit is being led. You were not shaped for fragile living. You were shaped to withstand storms without surrendering your center. That is mastery.
And now, the revelation. The battle was never truly about the external circumstance. Not the waiting, not the confusion, not even the people who entered and exited your life like passing comets. The true battle was always this: would you remember who you are before the world convinced you to forget? That is the ancient question echoing through every trial. Most abandon themselves long before destiny arrives. They surrender their voice for approval, their truth for comfort, their calling for temporary shelter from pain. But something within you resisted. Even wounded, it resisted. That resistance was sacred. Because beneath all the noise, beneath every disappointment and every season of silence, your spirit was being forged into an unshakable pillar. Not perfect, but conscious. Not fearless, but unwavering. The mountain hermit eventually understands that the climb itself was the initiation. The isolation, the storms, the freezing nights beneath celestial skies. None of it was meaningless. It was transformation. So hear these final words carefully. Do not kneel before fear simply because it speaks with confidence. Do not abandon your path because the climb has become steep. And above all, do not betray the voice within you that still burns quietly beneath the ashes. Stand in your truth. Stand in your sovereignty. Stand even when the world trembles around you. Because the unseen remembers those who refuse to abandon their soul.